The Secret Book of Destiny. It appears only when your soul is prepared. Some books are purchased by choice, and others find you only when your life is strong enough to hold the truth inside them. This is not a story about fate selecting the gifted. It's about the hidden laws governing when knowledge appears, why it waits, and what it demands from the one who receives it. Nothing arrives early. Nothing comes late. Everything meets you at the exact moment your inner world can bear its weight. If this teaching is in your hands, you're already further along the path than you realize. Across every culture, the mystics quietly agreed on one principle. Revelation is earned, not granted. It isn't random, and it certainly isn't accidental. Wisdom appears when the one seeking it has built the inner capacity to understand and integrate it. That's why sacred knowledge has always been hidden in plain sight. Not because the universe wishes to be mysterious, but because the unprepared mind turns truth into confusion, fear, or self-destruction. This teaching is not about collecting secrets or feeling special. It is an initiation into responsibility. The universe doesn't reward desire. It rewards readiness. You can want enlightenment, wealth, love, power, but if your vessel is too small, these gifts will spill, rot, or ruin you. People believe they are waiting on the universe. In truth, the universe is waiting on them. This is the curriculum of readiness, to grow into alignment with the things you seek, so that when they arrive, you can hold them with steadiness instead of being overwhelmed. Everything you encounter is a mirror. Every delay is training. Every longing is a signal of potential still in development. When you hope for more, life answers with opportunities to expand into someone capable of receiving more. That's why this book appears only when the universe knows you're ready. Not because the content is dangerous, but because it is demanding. It asks you to dissolve assumptions, question comfort, and recognize the subtle intelligence behind your timing. Nothing you're about to read is meant to impress you. It is meant to change you. So take a breath. Notice where you are. Notice who you are. Notice the tension between who you have been and who you could become. This is not entertainment. It is a journey into your own inner architecture. And once you see what is being shown, you cannot return to blindness. Readiness is the price of admission. You've already paid enough to be here. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Unseen Merchant. In the heart of a crowded old-world marketplace where sellers competed with loud voices and bright fabrics, there was a stall most people overlooked. Its owner, a quiet woman named Jessica, didn't shout or bargain. She simply tended to her strange inventory, a copper bowl that seemed to glow from within, a mirror that hinted at things yet to come, a pendant that hummed as though it remembered a song from long ago. She went days without a sale. Customers admired her objects but walked away confused. Some tried to buy, but coins placed on her counter would crumble into dried leaves. Others brought silver, but it dissolved like mist. People whispered that her shop was cursed. Jessica feared they might be right. One evening, a weathered traveler approached. He didn't browse. He walked directly to the copper bowl, as though answering a quiet call. When he touched it, a faint warmth pulsed through the metal. He whispered that he had been searching for this object his entire life, though he had never known its shape until now. He placed gold coins in Jessica's hand. And this time, the coins remained. No leaves, no dust, real currency. The exchange was effortless, honest, complete. In that moment, Jessica understood. The bowl didn't accept payment from those who merely wanted it. It accepted only those who were ready for it. From then on, she watched closely. A grieving mother discovered the pendant, which began humming a lullaby only she could hear. A blind poet picked up the mirror, and instead of reflecting faces, it revealed worlds woven from words he could feel. Each item revealed its nature only to those prepared to receive it. Her shop was not broken, it was selective. Nothing was for sale. Everything was recognition. The objects did not choose based on wealth, need, or desperation, only alignment. If someone wasn't ready, their offering turned worthless. If someone was, the exchange unfolded like destiny. This was Jessica's first lesson. Life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are ready to carry. Most people refuse this truth because it shifts responsibility inward. It's easier to blame circumstance than confront unreadiness. We crave the rewards without the transformation. But wanting is not qualification. Preparation is. The traveler received the bowl not because he desired it, but because his inner world resonated with its purpose. The grieving mother, softened by loss, could hold the pendant's comfort. The poet, humbled by blindness, saw deeper than eyes allow. These objects weren't magical, they simply responded to readiness. So consider your own life. What have you been begging for that never arrives? Love, freedom, purpose, wealth, spiritual awakening? The absence of results is not rejection, it is information. If the universe hasn't delivered, it may not be withholding. It may be protecting you until you can hold what you seek without being broken by it. Abundance can destroy the fragile. Insight can shatter the arrogant. Love can drown the unhealed. Power can consume the unprepared. The universe plays a longer game than your impatience can comprehend. Manifestation is not about intensity, it's about integrity. Not about wanting, about becoming. Desire says, I want. Readiness says, I am. Only one is recognized. The universe already knows what you seek. Your longing is a signal broadcasted clearly. What it evaluates is your capacity. Your desire is the invitation. Your readiness is the key. If you want to accelerate your life, stop demanding that blessings arrive sooner. Build yourself into someone who can hold them without collapse. Expand the container. The content will follow. A practical start. Each night, identify 3 experiences that came not when you wanted them, but when you are finally able to understand or use them. Let this remind you, life has never denied you. It has only timed you. And remember, Jessica's market stall is not a fairy tale. It is a mirror. You are the merchant and the marketplace. You are the seeker and the sought. What you receive is determined not by desire, but by readiness. Chapter 2. The Man Who Could Not Open the Door. There was once a scholar named Amari who devoted his life to the study of hidden truths. His home was stacked with scrolls, diagrams, and theories, a museum of knowledge that impressed everyone except the universe itself. Amari believed that understanding came from accumulation, so he collected information the way others collected wealth. He memorized sacred symbols, chanted ancient formulas, and debated anyone who would listen. Yet despite all this, nothing in him changed. One winter, he learned of a legendary sanctuary, a place said to strip illusion from truth. Those who entered emerged transformed. Those who were unprepared never found the entrance at all. This mystery thrilled Amari more than anything he had ever studied. At last, there was a place where real knowledge lived, not just the imitation he'd been gathering like dust. He traveled for weeks across frigid valleys and quiet forests until he reached a mountain path marked only by silence. On the rock face stood a door, simple stone, unadorned, without handle or lock. Nothing about it looked mystical. No symbols, no guards, no glowing aura. Just a door. Amari. This is it? I've memorized entire libraries for this? He pushed the door. Nothing. He recited sacred verses. Nothing. He pressed his ear to the stone, hoping for hidden mechanisms. Nothing. He became frustrated, then angry. Every chant, every spell, every invocation he knew. The door remained still. Finally exhausted, he collapsed. In the quiet, a woman appeared, not mystical, not glowing, just present. She observed him calmly, as one might watch a child wrestle with his own shadow. She asked, "Why do you want to enter?" Amari replied proudly, "To learn the hidden truth." She shook her head. Truth is not hidden. It is simply unreadable to the unprepared. He frowned. "I have prepared my entire life." She pointed at the scrolls in his pack. "You have collected words, not wisdom. You have grown heavier, not deeper. You believe knowledge is something to possess, rather than something to become." Amari bristled, ready to argue, but something inside him softened. She continued, "That door does not open to answers. It opens to readiness. You're speaking to it through your mind, but it understands only your being." He asked, quieter now, "Then why bring me here if I am not ready?" She smiled. "Because before readiness, there must be recognition. You came here to discover the door. Now the door reveals what is missing, not in the world, but in you." Amari protested, "Tell me what to fix then." Her eyes were kind, but firm. "A man can carry scrolls he does not understand. He can repeat truths he has never lived. To enter, you must replace knowing with becoming. This door responds only to what you embody." He sat in silence. For the first time, he realized that knowledge alone was not transformation. He had been trying to open the door through accumulation, more facts, more symbols, more techniques, believing that quantity equaled depth. He had mistaken study for growth. The woman pointed toward the valley he came from. "Return. Live what you know. When your life reflects your truth rather than your memory of it, the door will no longer be an obstacle." Before he could respond, she vanished. The door seemed to dissolve into the mountain. The path home felt heavier, but clearer. On his journey back, Amari noticed things he had ignored before. The tired laughter of farmers, the rhythm of passing seasons, the fragile beauty of small kindnesses. He listened more, spoke less. He began applying the teachings he once merely recited. He made his life a practice rather than a performance. Years later, he returned to the mountain. The door stood where it always had. This time, he didn't try to push or chant. He simply stood before it, present. The stone softened, then disappeared. The way opened without effort. No fireworks, no dramatic revelation, just the quiet confirmation that becoming is the only true key. Inside the sanctuary, Amari saw no mystical architecture, only a vast mirror. It reflected not his face, but the person he had grown into, someone capable of receiving truth without trying to own it. The sanctuary had never been a place. It was a state of being. The door was never locked. Amari was. Readiness is not what you know, it's what you are. Too many people chase spiritual shortcuts. They collect teachings, but never metabolize them. They repeat words that never change how they treat others, how they respond to adversity, how they show up in the small, unnoticed spaces of life. They want the mountain without climbing. They want the sanctuary without surrender. They want initiation without responsibility. The universe doesn't move for this kind of seeker. It waits. Real wisdom is not added to you. It is uncovered within you. It appears when you stop consuming spirituality as information and start expressing it as character. The door is not impressed by your knowledge. It opens only when your life is congruent with truth. Ask yourself, where are you trying to force doors open through intellect instead of readiness? Are you memorizing teachings you refuse to embody? Do you want spiritual insight without letting it reshape your actions, speech, relationships, and habits? Transformation is not in what you learn. It is in what you are willing to change. This is why knowledge arrives only when integration has begun. The universe does not delay to punish you. It delays to protect you from truths that would drown an unready mind. You cannot steal timing. You cannot force initiation. You can only become someone who no longer needs to ask. That is readiness.